Good evening and welcome to Build Independence and Skills. Tonight I thought I would do a quick live demonstration. I will be sharing this on my Thermomix page and on other pages. For some of you who know me and have been involved, I'm been a really strong advocate for those on NDAs to try and get Thermomix approved, and as part of that I do comparisons between different kitchen appliance and AT devices. So, Thermomix have got the TM6, Aldi have just released the new Thermo Cooker, which I have here beside. So I've got them side by side so we can have a bit of a look and go through it. So anyone who is keen and wants to be able to try and do a comparison, whether or not it's been to Thermomix, the current Aldi model, the old Aldi model, or the Bellini, I do have them available, so I'm more than happy to sit down with you and run through them. I also have the three different Thermomix models, being the old TM31, TM5 and TM6. So between that we've got 6 different models of kitchen appliance that we're able to try in relation to determining what's best for you in your kitchen. So as you can see, the Aldi model is nearly twice as wide, I'll see if I can spin it around, as our TM6. It's got suction feed on the bottom, so it's suctioned on. Its bowl is huge, it's a whole 3 litres. It's got nothing in it at the moment, but again, just start by the spatula. So in my left is a TM spatula, on my right is the Aldi spatula. It's a hard plastic, so I don't see it lasting all that long. It also doesn't have any help with the handle, so that's probably one of the biggest issues I notice. It's a very thin handle. As I said, it doesn't feel as comfortable in your hand. Even if I swap it around, it doesn't feel like you're holding something substantial. It's very, I guess, flimsy and plasticky. Then we look at our butterflies. Again, left hand is our Thermomix, right hand is the Aldi one. The butterfly feels more sturdy than the spatula, which is a bit surprising because the spatula would be using for a lot more than necessarily just the spatula. Alright, it turns itself off, so that's one thing we know. I don't know how long it's been on. Nothing's been used. Again, it does have the screen on it. We look again at the measuring cups. So the Aldi one is just a plastic cup with little lugs that screw in. The Thermomix is the bigger, harder plastic with lugs, so it actually sits in the lids. So we'll get to the aromas next. So left hand is our Thermomix aroma, which as I said has the 3 layers. The thing I like about the Thermomix aroma, the plastic lid actually sits in, so even if I don't have the middle tray, it's still sitting in sturdy, and if it sits on, I don't know where my middle piece is, it still fits in flat. But when we get to the Aldi aroma, okay, Penny's just found one for me, thank you. So again, this is our middle insert for our aroma. You'll notice that the lid is sitting on, so it's sitting a lot more firmer, so it's not going to fall off. Whereas when we get to the Aldi lid, it's not. There's nothing holding it on our first layer. It's also got a really small handle to be able to pick it up, so you've got to lift from the top. So again, it's going to require more of a fine motor, one-handed skill rather than 2. When it is in the aroma, it will all sit together nicer, so it isn't going to fall apart. But if you're lifting one part off, it falls out. The lid doesn't actually, it does sit in, but it's not a neat fit if it's not got its tray in it. Then we'll look at our big jug sizes, because I know a lot of people were commenting about the jug size. So Thermomix is 2.2 litres, Aldi is 3.3. That is absolutely huge. I can't hold it with one hand. Whereas this one, and again, yeah, I'm using my right hand, which I do have issues in terms of weight, but there's no way I can hold that for any length of time, and that has nothing in it other than our basket. The other feature that I know a lot of people are liking about the new model Thermomix is the fact that it automatically locks in the lid. The Aldi one, you've actually got to twist and lock in the lid, so it's got to go in a certain way, and then it is a 2-handed job to be able to lock your lid in so it is securely in place. So again, that's going to be that's going to become an issue for a lot of people if there are any dexterity issues, or wanting to. Again, the weight of the lid is absolutely huge. I'd love to actually get a pair of the scales and weigh how much is in the lid, but this lid is really light, this one is really, really heavy. Next we'll get on to, while we're going through it, our baskets. So again, the Aldi one is a really flimsy plastic. It's got the handle, don't know what this bit's for, but again, it doesn't have the lid. Like the Thermomix brought out the safety lid on the basket so people couldn't overfill it. Whereas in the Aldi one, I'm not sure you see, there's a high chance that you're going to be able to overfill that basket. So when lifting it out, you may end up with spillage everywhere. Again, the basket is smaller, but it feels a lot sturdier in our hands. Again, I've got no idea working out how I can actually get the base of the Thermomix off to be able to get into the blades. Similar base setup, it does sit in, but the one thing I noticed that the jug is very rocky when it's in the base of the Aldi one compared to the Thermomix. There's very little movement. And Penny's found my scales and
730 grams.
730 grams. So the Aldi lid alone is 730 grams, which is a huge amount of weight if you're trying to lift anything. Whereas we'll compare the Thermomix lid is 240. So again, let's get a weight of our bowl, just to give you an idea how heavy the bowl is before we add any weight to it. And it might actually be saying it's too heavy for my scales. So the bowl alone is nearly 1.6 kilos. So that's a fair bit of weight if you want to be able to lift anything up. And let's compare it to the TM bowl, which is 1.1 kilos. So there's nearly half a kilo difference in just a bowl before you add any weight in it. And again, yes, I do have Thermomix, but I've got no preference, and that's why I've got the different comparisons to be able to show people and get a better understanding of what's required. It is why I'm also doing the Assistive Technology Mentor course, so that I can sit down and show these comparisons to help occupation therapists understand, help NDIS understand when they say, just get a cheaper model. So again, that's just very basics in terms of the equipment. Again, it's got the digital screen, so it's got our inbuilt scales. I haven't connected anything up to Wi-Fi yet because, as I said, I've only just unpacked it. So I'll move it in so you can have a look at the screen. But you'll also notice it's a very small handle. So with the Thermomix, if you've got a tip, you've got the bottom part of the handle, so you're able to tip a lot more ergonomically. Whereas this handle, you've got one way to be able to tip it. There is no way you'd be able to tip that full with one hand. So it's going to limit the people who are actually able to use the Thermomix. Again, I wouldn't feel safe with my children walking around with this 3-litre bowl without anything in it, let alone having anything hot in it. So again, it's got our menus. They're divided it up into breakfast, cakes, baking, desserts, drinks, smoothies, healthy basics. Let's have a look at the basics. So we're talking about mashed potato, brown rice, pasta recipe. So pasta's one that I know that is on our Thermomix. Let's see. So their pasta is 35 minutes. But this looks like it's talking about showing you how to make your pasta. So again, let's see if we go make. So again, it's got the step-by-step instructions. I'm not sure if you can see the size of the screen, but I'll get it up on the try get it on the Thermomix so we can see both screens. And I'll put in pasta. What do I want to search on Cookie Do? So what did I search? Pasta. But just to give you an idea of the way the layer is different in terms of being able to read the screen. If I could spell, we'd be having a good day. Let's try again. Pasta. So, pasta. Okay, it's saying 50 minutes to make it. This must be making it as well. But again, we'll press start cooking. So, again, the Thermomix is broken up into one instruction, so it's saying place loop and flour, whereas the Aldi one is saying add 250 grams of flour, 2 eggs and 3 yolks into the bowl and knead. So everything is, it's not breaking it down step by step, and that's what a lot of people really like the Thermomix for, because it broke it down step by step. So anyone who had any disabilities, cognitive issues and struggled to be able to follow instructions could do things simply. Again, it allowed for our younger kids to be able to do it. Again, adding 250 flour, eggs, yolks, and then next, I wonder if I press play. What happens if I press play? Nothing's happening. And then it's saying to divide the bowl into 4 bowls. So it's definitely not, it has broken it down into steps, but it is nowhere as simple as a Thermomix. Like, you have multiple steps. We've got nearly 5 steps, 6 steps in Aldi rather than 1. So we've got add flour, which would be 1 step in the Thermomix. 2 would be eggs, 3 would be egg yolks. Then it would tell you to put the lid on, so you knew what you're doing with the lid and the bowl, and then kneading it. So that's 5 steps that are combined into 1. So I can see it's again very small. So if there's any issues with vision on that, it's going to make it, I think it's going to make it quite hard for people to be able to read. Again, you can scroll through it, but let's go back. So again, it's got the pictures, which again is going to help people compared to other alternatives in relation to Thermomix that don't have the screen. But if you are looking for something that is lightweight, something that is practical, as I said, you can see the bowl, before it's got anything in it, is nearly, and the lid is nearly 1 kilo heavier. So that's going to make a huge amount of weight. And again, because it all locks in, like, I wish I could show someone the weight of this to be up. Just, I couldn't believe it when I lifted the weight up. And again, the fact that how it has to, again, trying to lock it into place. But the whole bowl has got a lot of movement, which for me, I would be more concerned about that being a safety concern as well. So again, that was just something really quick that I wanted to do.